Hello everyone, my name is Davik and thank you so much for tuning into the video. First things first, thank you so much guys on 10,000 followers. As I said in my last LinkedIn post, truly I'm really grateful for that, and it's amazing to see that my content resonate with so many people, and yeah, I look forward to making more. With that said, thank you so much guys for submitting questions for the AMA, and let's get to it. So the first question is asking if I had any advice if you don't have internship experience and you're looking for a job. And I think to that I would say, of course, like internship experience is really valuable to have, but there's still definitely some steps you could take to get around that. So first things first, I would say, have your goal sort of set up for what type of position you want. And what I mean by that is, as a software engineering student, most likely you want a software engineering internship, but even think about what type of internship do you want to go into. Do you want to go into a front-end role, back-end role, data science? And I mean, that goes for other engineerings too, or designers. Like, just try figuring out what type of area you want to go into, because especially when you're first starting off, because you don't have that much on your resume with the lack of working experience, you want to make sure that with that focus, you can at least make a compelling package for at least one thing or one area. And once you start building that experience, I think it's important to try applying everywhere. Of course, you can apply for the big companies and you never know what would happen, but try applying for startups, try applying for mid-level companies, try applying everywhere, because honestly, that first job is really hard to get regardless. And any working experience is good. And so I think having a diversity of options is definitely really good to have, and don't get too caught up in, I need to get into the big companies now, because you definitely have more time to do that. I think getting that first internship is really crucial, so you've got to make sure that you're maximizing your opportunities for that. And even with that, if you end up with multiple offers in that first internship, I would say don't get too swayed by stuff like pay. I would say, think about the experience that you're going to get at this company, whether it be the manager, the hiring manager, the type of work that they're asking you to do, where the company is at, what type of company it is. Look at those different areas, because I think it's really important for that first internship. I feel like, sometimes pay will sway people, and if at the same time, if both are equal, then by all means, but keep those other factors in check as well, because experience goes a long way, especially for those future internships. It also depends what year you're in. Like if you're in first or second year, definitely look at there's some really good programs made by big companies for students who don't have experience. And so that can be really great, like the STEP internship from Google, Explore internship from Microsoft. I know Lyft and Uber have some as well, and you can definitely find it online, but those are really great programs you can also get involved in. Now, regardless, if you're in first, second year, third year, fourth year, and you're looking for your first internship, make sure that you also have good projects or good experience to showcase. So, like I said, when you start narrowing down those fields, then you want to make sure that even without that working experience, you've put some time and effort into learning the technologies, because it's very hard to get a job without any of that experience. And so, especially with the internet, there's so many different projects that you can try working on. So go check those out and put them on your resume. And I think what you'll end up seeing is during the interview, a lot of the people are going to ask about your thought process behind some of the decisions you made on those projects. And it becomes even more valuable to either have, one big one so you can talk about the different components, or a smaller one so you can talk about different sort of areas and your thought process throughout it. Because beyond just, the experiences that you have in the past, I think what these companies are also looking for is, does this person have the right way of thinking about things that we want to see? And so definitely, they are going to start nitpicking your process and why you made these decisions, so you should be ready to answer those questions. But with that said, I would say those are the biggest hints that I have. Make sure that you sort of have a narrowed focus for that first internship. Make sure that you have good projects to showcase that experience, and at the same time, make sure you apply everywhere. And alongside with that, make sure that you just keep going with it, because honestly, it's a grind, that first one especially. But it honestly becomes a stamina issue at the end of it. After you get your resume nitpicked and everything, after a while you just have to keep applying, keep trusting in the process, and eventually it will pay off. So the second question I got was, what is my tips for getting an internship at Tesla? And I think for that, honestly, I could probably make a whole video on that because it'll take very long, but I would say the biggest thing is make sure that you get experience that allows you to do the role requirements from day one, because Tesla is moving so fast. They need people who can come in and help and contribute from day one, and so showcasing or getting experience that allows you to do that, and then showcasing on your resume or in the interview how that experience lets you do that, I think goes a long way. And so yeah, that's probably the biggest advice I have for Tesla. I might do another video actually talking about maybe more specifics with the application, or maybe an AMA for that as well. So if that seems of interest to you, yeah, please let me know and I can consider doing that. So the third question I got is, how do I decide what to post to drive engagement? And yeah, I think for me, the biggest thing is it something that I think is going to be helpful? Or is it something that I think people might be interested in? That's definitely like a big consideration for me. And so when it comes to my internships, I mean, a lot of it's questions that I had coming out and sort of explanations that I wish people gave to me. So I think making relatable content in that regard is really important, because of course, the more relatable content is, the more people will want to interact with your content. And yeah, I think that's one key area first. Second is, I would say it's always nice to also have some sort of engagement point in your post. For example, I talk about what do you guys think? Maybe you think differently, and having that discussion with your comments, with people in your comments, is definitely really great for that. Because you want to hear other people's opinions. Personally, like I want to know what other people are thinking. And I know when I first started off posting on LinkedIn, half the reason I did is because I wanted to talk about tech ideas that I had with other people who weren't my friends. So honestly, like that's how I go about what do I post and how do I drive engagement. I think being relatable and making and engaging with people online is honestly the trick for me. Of course, there's a lot of other videos and posts you can see about timing and all this other different stuff, but I tend to stay away from that. I tend to keep it pretty simple, and it's been working out for me. So yeah, that's my story for that. So the fourth question I got is if I could talk about IoT products and some projects that we can make for that. And yeah, definitely, like IoT is really exciting, especially with 5G coming out. It only enhances the capabilities that IoT products have, especially like as the network gets better and as we can pass more data, we can have some really great connectivity and some really cool applications coming out. Getting started doesn't seem too hard. I would say, maybe grab a Raspberry Pi and do some projects with that. You can make it a server, host an API there, and there's some cool stuff you can do there. I'll put a link for some projects that I've seen for that. But yeah, IoT is definitely really exciting, and it'll be exciting to see what happens. So the fifth and final question is, what's next? And I think that's probably the question that a lot of 21-year-olds are dreading, and me included. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I have an internship coming up from January to April, and so definitely I guess the main focus right now would be going there. But as of right now, it's pretty much focusing on that, focusing on creating content for you guys, and exploring different avenues, because why not? And so yeah, about what's next, we'll see. But I'm really excited to see what the future holds. And stay tuned. Overall, guys, thank you so much once again. I hope this AMA could be useful. And yeah, if there's any more questions, feel free to shoot them at me on LinkedIn, book a Calendly with me, or maybe another AMA in the future. I'll probably start making more video content on LinkedIn as well as YouTube. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Thank you so much, guys, and take care till the next one.